Yeah, boy.
How's it going and welcome. My name is Raemour. In this video, I'm going to be giving you guys the 3 major techniques that I use when I'm playing Machine Gunner to effectively play the Machine Gunner class. Since Update 9 came out and they added the MG34, I've been playing the Machine Gunner class a lot more, and I've been noticing people struggle with the Machine Gunner class, so I decided to make a video about it and explain how I play the Machine Gunner class. I hope you guys stick around and learn a thing or two, and like always, thanks for watching. Let's first take a look at each country's machine gunner loadout, starting with Germany. The first weapon loadout you get as a German machine gunner comes with the MG34 as your primary, a Walther P38 as your secondary, 2 bandages, and a shovel. Once you reach level 3 as a machine gunner, you then get access to the MG42 as your primary, a Luger P08 as a secondary, 2 bandages, and a shovel. As an American machine gunner, you first get access to the Browning M1919 as a primary, the Colt M1911 as a secondary, 2 bandages, and an M3 knife. Once you reach level 3 as an American machine gunner, you then get access to the M1918A2 bar, a hammer, 2 bandages, and an M3 knife. You will find that the main difference between American machine guns and German machine guns is the rate of fire. So the American Browning M1919 will fire 600 rounds a minute, and the German MG42 will fire 1800 rounds a minute. You can find this on the wiki. You might think the Germans have an advantage then, since they shoot so many more rounds a minute. Aren't they more powerful? In some aspects, yes, but you have to remember how much ammo they will blow through. So you have to be careful with that. You can fire for a lot longer with the M1919 rather than the MG42. Now, the strange story about the machine gun class is the bar. The bar is an automatic rifle that you can find in both the assault and automatic rifleman class for the Americans. The only difference with it being in the machine gun class rather than the assault and automatic rifleman class is the amount of magazines it holds. The American machine gunner with the bar gets 14 magazines, which is a lot. Now that we know what each country's loadouts bring to the battlefield, let's talk about what a machine gunner does. The purpose of a machine gunner is to be support by fire, meaning when your team is pushing towards an objective or your team is defending an objective, your support role by laying down heavy amount of sustainable fire at the enemy. You're either suppressing the enemy or you're actively taking shots at enemy you see. The difference between suppressing fire and seeing somebody and shooting at them is suppressing fire is usually done when you don't see them, or you know the general location of the enemy. When you're shooting at the enemy and the bullets are flying near them, they will get a suppressing effect on the screen. It's when the screen gets shaky and blurry and turns black and white. This effectively keeps the enemy from moving, allowing your team to carry out whatever objective they're trying to accomplish. As you can see, whoever was shooting at me effectively stopped me from going down that road in that direction. This is the purpose of the machine gunner, is to pin down enemies and to stop them from moving to certain areas or keeping them in place. The first major thing to do as a machine gunner is to set up correctly. This is location. Usually, the ideal position for a machine gunner is a place that has a high vantage point, cover, and concealment. This means being in a house like I am in this clip, or being in a bush, or set up on a brick wall on the other side of a large field that has a large view of the battlefield. In this clip, you can clearly see I have a large view of the battlefield and I can effectively support my team as they push towards the objective. Buildings are often the best place for a machine gunner. It offers all three things of what a machine gunner is looking for: a high vantage point, cover, and concealment. This clip is also a good example of how to set up. I have both cover, concealment, and I might not have a high vantage point, but I can see everything across the field and I can defend my allies. The next big thing is repositioning and remaining undetected. Your machine gun, when you're firing it, is very loud and has a very distinct sound. It also has a muzzle flash and it has tracers. This makes it easy for enemies to spot you. So moving away from your original position after you've been taking fire or just to throw off the enemy a little bit is a good tactic. Then you just come back and you start shooting again. Or if you're taking too much fire, it might be a good idea just to abandon that position completely and find a new place. Here's an advanced tip for a machine gunner. If you begin taking fire in a bunker, just turn to the side. It makes it so much harder for them to be able to hit you. And here's another clip of me using this technique. And since I moved to the side while I'm taking fire, it actually allowed me to spot this guy, and I could shoot at somebody while being suppressed. The last most important trick for a machine gunner is to have awareness. Often, if you've been spotted in one spot, people will try to flank you and kill you from behind. So listening to footsteps and checking your back is very important because often people die from not having awareness and being flanked by the enemy. Listen and let me know in the comments if you could hear them walking.
They're in the house. Enemy spotted. They're in the house. They're in the house. In the house.
Remember, if you killed one person, there could always be two. So finding a safe corner somewhere and waiting a minute or so can save your life. Always trust your sidearm. In my opinion, the pistol is better if you're a good shot. So remember, locate smartly, reposition, and remain undetected and have awareness. With these three things, I guarantee you, you will dominate the battlefield and be the best machine gunner out there. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you on the battlefield.